Are you an introvert or an extrovert? You probably already have an answer in your head. Most people do. But today, I want to completely flip everything you think you know about that question. Because here's the thing, almost everything you've been told about introversion and extroversion is either wrong or dangerously oversimplified. And by the end of this video, you're going to see yourself in a totally different light. Let's start by blowing up the biggest myth right now. When most people hear introvert, they picture someone shy, awkward, someone who just doesn't like people. And when they hear extrovert, they picture the loudest person in the room. Always talking, always on. But that's not it. That's not even close. When psychologist Carl Jung first developed these concepts, the whole point had nothing to do with social skills. The real difference between introverts and extroverts is not about how well you talk to people. It's about where you get your energy. Extroverts recharge through the outside world. They plug in through conversations, social interaction, and busy environments. The more going on around them, the more alive they feel. Introverts are the opposite. They recharge by spending time alone. Quiet space, personal reflection, their own inner world. That's where their power comes from. Think of it this way. Some people run on solar panels. They need external light to power up. Others run on batteries. They generate energy from within. Neither one is better. They just work differently. Now here's where it gets interesting. Modern society has quietly been treating extroversion like it's the gold standard of personality. In school, in the workplace, in pretty much every public setting, the people who speak up first, who network effortlessly, who react quickly and loudly, those are the ones who get noticed. Studies show that somewhere between a third and half of all Americans are introverted. But look at who fills most leadership roles. Extroverts. Overwhelmingly, not because they're more capable, but because they match the style that our culture rewards. Let that sink in for a second. But wait, it gets better. Here's something most people completely miss. The majority of us aren't fully introverted or fully extroverted at all. Psychologists actually view this as a spectrum. Most people sit somewhere in the middle, leaning one way but capable of going the other direction, depending on the situation. There's even a name for people right in the middle: ambiverts. So why do we insist on putting ourselves in one box or the other? Part of the answer comes down to what's actually happening inside your brain. Research shows that introverted brains are more sensitive to external stimulation. Same crowded party, same loud music, same room full of people. But an introvert's brain registers all of that more intensely. It's not that they're antisocial. It's that their brain hits a point of overload faster. So they seek quieter environments. Not out of weakness, out of biology. Extroverted brains, on the other hand, are less sensitive to stimulation. They actually need more input from the outside world, just to reach their ideal level of alertness. That's why they thrive in busy, social environments. It's not a personality preference. It's a neurological setting. And the difference shows up in the dopamine system, too. Dopamine is your brain's reward chemical, the one that makes things feel good. Extroverts get a bigger dopamine hit from social interaction and new experiences. Introverts are more sensitive to dopamine, which means they actually need less of it to feel satisfied. That's why one really deep, meaningful conversation can feel more fulfilling to an introvert than a whole night of small talk. It's not that they're being antisocial. Their brain is just calibrated differently. Now, let's talk about one of the most stubborn myths out there. The idea that introverts are passive, quiet, and never meant to lead. Because the research says otherwise. Introverted leaders tend to listen more carefully, think before they act, and understand the people around them on a deeper level. Extroverted leaders tend to make fast decisions and rally the entire team with high energy. Both styles are effective, but which one works better depends entirely on the situation. In fact, research from Wharton found that introverted leaders often outperform extroverted ones when managing a proactive team. People who already have great ideas and just need space to run with them. Creativity tells a similar story. Introverts tend to do their best work alone, going deep on complex problems over long stretches of time. Extroverts thrive in brainstorming sessions, bouncing ideas around, building off other people's energy. The best teams don't pick one over the other. They use both. Now, I want to speak directly to some of you for a second. Maybe you're an introvert who's spent years forcing yourself to act more outgoing, because that's what the world seemed to expect. Or maybe you're an extrovert who keeps getting told to calm down, to talk less, to take up less space. Both of those experiences are real, and they're exhausting. But here's what you need to know. You don't have to choose a permanent label and live inside it. Psychologists call this adaptive flexibility, and it basically means this. Even if you're an introvert, you can step into more outgoing behavior when the situation calls for it, a presentation, a networking event, a first date. And even if you're an extrovert, you can dial it back and focus when the moment requires it. The key isn't denying who you are. The key is knowing yourself well enough to flex when you need to. And then recharging in whatever way actually works for you. You can act against your nature for a while, but you have to pay yourself back. This is also changing how the workplace is being designed. Remote and hybrid work has been a genuine gift for a lot of introverts. Focused, quiet, no open office chaos. But for extroverts, working from home has sometimes felt isolating in a way that's hard to explain. When your energy comes from other people, and the people disappear, so does the fuel. So a lot of companies now are rethinking their office layouts entirely. Designing dedicated quiet zones for deep, individual work, and separate open collaboration. Spaces for team energy and brainstorming. Because the smartest organizations have figured out that you don't have to choose between the two types. You design for both. So here's what I want you to walk away with today. Introversion and extroversion are not about skill. They're not about confidence. They're not about who's better at life. They're about the direction your energy flows. Where do you come alive? Where do you get drained? Once you know the honest answer to that, you can start making choices that actually work for you. What job environments will you thrive in? What kinds of relationships restore you? How do you need to recover after a long day? These are not small questions. They are the architecture of a life that fits you. And maybe the real goal isn't to become more introverted or more extroverted. Maybe it's to stop fighting who you already are. Know yourself, work with yourself, and give yourself permission to recharge in whatever way makes you whole. Because in the end, the people who thrive aren't the ones who fit the mold. They're the ones who finally stop trying to.